Hey there. Zoom in just a little bit. I'm doing a 12 by 36 canvas today. I have push pins in the back, even in the middle there. And I'm going to be using Folk Art Color Shift Purple Flash, Lumiere by Jacquard Light Bodied Metallic Pearlescent Magenta, Halo Blue Gold. So it almost is a greenish color. It's blue and kind of gold too. It's kind of a really cool color. It's awesome. And then this is metallic gold. These are in my Amazon link, and you can find them at like specialty art stores. I don't know if Michael's and Hobby Lobby carries them, but like Jerry's Artarama does. You can get them online, and they are just beautiful, gorgeous metallics that have a lot of sparkle to them. I don't know, they're just gorgeous. And of course this is the color shift paint, which is pretty good, I think. So those are my 4 colors. I've got about an ounce of paint in each cup. I'm going to add an ounce of Floetrol. Floetrol latex based. Make sure you get latex based. This thing is a new gallon. It's super heavy. So I'm adding about an ounce. I want it to be fairly even with the paint that I've put in, 1 to 1. I put a little less gold, so there's a little less in that cup, and I put a little less purple flash. So get this big old thing off the table. I also keep Floetrol in a yellow bottle here if I need more. I keep my water, which says H2O on it. This is what I add to my paints after I've mixed them if the consistency is not fluid enough. I'm going to fast forward through the mixing, and if I add water, it's coming out of this bottle, which is about 80% water or so, 80–90%, and the rest is some Floetrol from the end of a jug. So it has some Floetrol in it. So it's going to come out kind of whitish looking, but it's water. Put them to the side. I did not have to add any water to them because they are soft bodied paints, which would be like comparable to like DecoArt in the bottle, which is fluid. So they're this is such a pretty color. I don't know if you can see it, but it looks like aqua, but when the light hits it right, it looks green. So it's like a color shift. It's called Halo Blue Gold. So it's really an awesome color. So no need to add water to any of these. Even the color shift does not need water. I have white in my bottle. This is Artist Loft White mixed 1 to 1 with Floetrol. In this, there's just a hint of water. In the cup, I added a little bit more water. I wanted it really fluid because this is going to be what I pour for my base. And today I'm going to blow with a dryer, which may end up being a fiasco because it can get like kind of messy. And I want it to have an abstract feel, but maybe towards the floral side. I'm not sure yet. It kind of depends on how it all pans out, because I've never been able to predict what I'm going to do when I'm trying to blow paint with a dryer or anything like that. So a 12 by 36 canvas, if you look on the charts for how much paint that you need for a 12 by 36 canvas, it would be 3 12 by 12s, and a 12 by 12 is 5 ounces, so 3 of them would be 15 ounces. So you need 15 ounces of paint to totally cover this canvas. And this right here that I just put on the canvas of white is maybe about 5 ounces. Floetrol, which is in the link below. I just realized. Okay, I just realized that I did not have my mic on. I got so excited getting ready to paint that I totally forgot to put my mic on. So I hope you heard all that. If not, very quickly, it's Lumiere by Jacquard. These are light-bodied metallic acrylics. This is pearlescent magenta, metallic gold, and this is a really cool, it looks turquoise in the bottle, but in the cup it looks green. It's halo blue gold, so it kind of goes both directions. And this is Folk Art Color Shift paint, which is expensive. It's $9 for a bottle. Purple Flash. I put an ounce in each cup and then an ounce of Floetrol and mixed it up, and you do not need to add water to those cups because the paint is very fluid already. It's soft-bodied acrylics. I pulled out my pool trowel, which is on my Amazon link below. There's 2 different ones. One has a wooden handle, one has a plastic handle. This is an acrylic blade. It is not metal. And the metal ones are sharp. So I got one, it's about 10 inches. And I'm going to spread my white with this because it does a better job at getting it more smooth. I have paint scrapers, but they've kind of got a little buildup of paint on them, and so I don't get like a perfectly smooth finish with them. And this is really kind of, the white is really fluid. I put extra water in it, so it's going to level out, I am sure. But make sure I have my corners covered, my sides. I'm kind of planning on it being a little bit on the messy side. I also have white in a squirt bottle that is also Artist Loft, mixed 50-50, 1-to-1 ratio with Floetrol. My plan is to do kind of an abstract, flowery look, but I'm not sure if I'll get that look. Look what my husband brought me yesterday. It's an orchid, and I don't want to turn it sideways and dump dirt on my canvas. But it is so beautiful, and it's in like a bamboo wood container that is gorgeous. I thought that was super sweet. I also wanted to just let you see that the lengths that we creators on YouTube go through to make videos for you, it takes hours for me, hours to edit my videos and save them and upload them to YouTube and all. I have to make notes, what video number, what colors I used, whether I used OGX coconut milk or silicone. Like these are the last 6 or 7 videos I've just been uploading and so forth. So it takes a lot of work, and I love doing this and I enjoy doing it for you, but it takes a lot of time and effort and money to go into this process to do this for you. But I do it because I want you to be able to learn as I go too. So I'm going to basically just bang on this a little bit in all directions. It's kind of hard to pick it up, it's so long. So I'm just kind of making sure I've got total coverage everywhere, corners and all. If I see any light spots, I'm adding it now. So I have this blow dryer that I found on Amazon. I think it's in my Amazon link. And it has a cool setting, which a lot of blow dryers do not have. So it has a cool setting so you don't have to push in a button and hold it while you're blowing with the blow dryer. and it's super powerful. Wipe up a little of my mess here. If I blow paint, I know it's probably going to make a mess. And I'm going to also pull my straw out, have it available. I have my white paint available in a squeeze bottle, and I have all my other colors in squeeze bottles if I decide I need another color to help this painting along. There's a little something in the paint. So this is the blow dryer that I just stuck the cord in the paint. It is 2100 watts, PTATOMS. Tatams, I think the P is silent, I'm not sure. An HD012P. The cool part is it comes with 2 of these attachments at the end, so you can kind of force your air in one direction and not in a big hole. So it makes it more powerful that way. And like I said, it has a cool setting. Besides the hot and medium level, it has a cool setting, so you don't have to hold a button the whole time you're blowing, and you can kind of have more leeway with the way you point your dryer. So I'm gonna try it, and if it gets like too out of hand, I might go to using my straw to blow. But I do want a little bit of an abstract feel, and it's been so long since I've done anything kind of like this, and I don't have any silicone in any of the colors. I'm just going to try it straight out paint. So that's interesting how, I don't know if there's water in the paint or what, that made it kind of go out in those little things. I'm going to cover this back up. I don't know what that is. And I'm not crazy about these little thingies right here, so I'm just pushing them back in. Tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to squirt a little bit of white from my bottle just to cover that back up where I put my finger in it. So yeah, I'm not real sure about this. It created kind of cells without doing anything to make cells with silicone, or so I may leave as is. I am going to bring my skewer out. See, the paint is like super thin. It looks aqua here and it looks green here. That's the interesting part about it. So what I'm trying to do is maybe get more of a leafy look at first. And maybe I should just swipe the color and not try to blow it. I'm not sure, but we'll go with it for now. This is a beautiful color. It looks green. I don't know if you can see how green it looks, but then it looks more turquoisey. Well, it looks green and turquoise in these where it's been blown. So that's kind of interesting. So that is using that dryer on the low setting and not the high setting. So if I use the high setting, it would be even more powerful than it is right now. There's another one of those little squiggles that I don't like. Put some white back over that. Skewers are really good for me to work with. I have a little bit more control of things that I want to kind of scoot around fairly simply. as long as you wipe it off and keep it clean. And then you can also use it to kind of level stuff out, to make I think I lost my mic. I hope you can hear me. I'm not sure, so I think I'm going to take my mic off. I took my mic off. I'm not sure how much you heard or if it went dead. When it went dead, my battery must have died. So I've been adding the green leaves in to make it a little bit more cohesive and a little bit like a filled-in pattern. And then I wanted something a little bit darker in the center of the leaves, the flowers, so I put the bronze and copper, then black and blue on it, and then blue back in with the petals. And I sure hope you can hear me. So I think I like everything so far. I still want to do something here, and maybe I want to do something with the black to make it tie in with the black and the flowers. No, I don't think so. So I'm going to put some white back here. And dip my there. Fix that because I didn't like that. So this is a DecoArt Writer bottle, which I've got paint all over. It has a screw-on lid, and when you take it off, there's like a needle point. It's not a point of needle that would poke you. But it's very fine. There's white paint in here. I might have put just a pinch of water just to make it a little bit more fluid. I'm going to see if I can just make Okay, I think I'm going to try to outline the petals to give them a little more definition. So, I don't know that the needle bottle will be enough white paint. So it has a needle in the top too. So I'm going to stick that needle into the needle. You have to get it lined up perfectly. I had it. So the needle goes in the needle and it keeps the nozzle from getting stopped up, which is really, really a good idea. So I'm going to use my white bottle here. And I'm doing it kind of haphazardly because I know the white's going to sink in to the color. So here I've totally lost the petal, and it's taken over the leaf, which I don't want it to. So what I'm doing is I'm scraping off this purple paint right here. There's a white. Green. Just kind of intermingle that green so it settles up, and got that purple off the leaf because it was kind of overtaking it there. to take my skewer. Wiping it off between each swipe in. Soften some of the lines a little bit. I hope I am loud enough because my camera is up above me, and that's why I use the mic, because you can hear me better with the mic. So I'm trying to figure out if I still need anything else. I know some people say, why didn't you just stop? I'm used to painting art, you know, I've done acrylic art for years, and you know, I'm used to realism, and this is very different. So sometimes I have a tendency to kind of keep playing, because I've been an artist for a longer time, and then I have the fluid art. Fluid art is new to me in the last 7 months or so. So I may drive some of you crazy. But I hope not. I like sticking a little bit of gold into the leaves, and then it kind of ties everything together, because all of it has a little bit of gold throughout the piece, which gives it that kind of extra special wow factor of a little metallic gold. And you know, these are pearly paints, so I'm curious to see if they'll dry, you know, shimmery. So I'm very, very lightly just skimming the canvas, because obviously when you do it too hard, especially with a palette knife, it's going to take it right down to that canvas. This is so relaxing to do. It's nice and quiet here out in the country. My husband will be home in the next hour. So it's just me and the cat and the dog. No crickets during the day. They don't come out till nighttime, and frogs. They love to make noises at night, especially if it rains. I'm hoping somebody that sees this will just fall in love with it. It really is a pretty piece, I think. Okay. I gotta skim a little gold into this, because it's the only one that doesn't really have gold. So to me, it kind of stands out like a sore thumb. See, all my stuff kind of goes over the edge. I wish I could show you, but I can't, because I don't want to tilt and mess up my things going on, especially the flowers. So, do I leave it? Do I do anything else? Goodness, goodness, goodness. So I like the little bit of black in here, because it gives the flowers a little bit of a feeling of a center point, which they needed. Like this one has too much black. So I put a little gold over it, but yeah, I do like a little bit of black. I'm glad I did it. Am I done with it? Am I done? See, I could even do something in these little white areas, but and it would be neat to have little black stamens or something, the little things coming out from the center, like a hibiscus looking thing or whatever, tropical. So, and maybe I'll do that after it dries and I can, control it better. I'm not sure. I like the haphazard feeling of kind of everything though. I'm not crazy about this leaf here, but the paint is almost like dry. See, what I can do is I can put some white against it, the edge, put a little of the green on my skewer, and roll it out and make it look ugly. I think that helped a little bit. I just didn't like that shape. Kind of making sure everything is kind of filled in and making sense as far as the vines, and I didn't want them to disappear into the white. So I brought you down to my level so you can see a little bit more up close. And once everything dries, it'll, be nice and level. The flowers might stand out a little bit more because they have a lot more paint kind of layered up. But, so I like zoom in on this one so you can see the metallic gold. Let's see. This one's kind of pretty right here. I like the way the black is bled around in the metallics there. So there it is. This has got to be called something like hibiscus or Hawaiian something or another. That's the way it feels. But it feels happy to me. I'm really pleased with it. It was a pure experiment, and I'm just pleased that it turned out this way. I'm loving it. And again, let me show you up close. Lumiere Soft Body Metallic Acrylics. That was magenta. This green one is to die for. I don't know if you can see the shimmer. That's got a little lime mixed in with it. But it's kind of an aqua color looking in the bottle. Like if you look at this bottle, it has kind of an emerald, blue-green, but it's called Halo Blue Gold. That's the funny part. And then, it was just straight out metallic gold here, and then this was the purple flash from DecoArt, and you see $8.99, but I never buy anything full price. If it's that expensive, I'm going to use a coupon, because I'm not paying $9 for a bottle of paint. But I am really pleased. I'm loving it. I am embellishing my 12 by 36 painting I did yesterday. That is nice and dry. I did it with the Lumiere by Jacquard soft-bodied acrylics that are metallic, and so they have just a little bit of a shimmer to them. And the only one that didn't have the shimmer was the lime green, the sour apple that was in my squeeze bottle that I mixed with the darker green that was the blue halo gold or whatever it was. That doesn't have any shimmer to it, but that's okay. I decided I wanted to put stamens on the flowers and maybe another little accent or two, I'm not sure. But I've started, you know, writing in with my little bottle. And the bottle has one of these DecoArt Ultra Fine Writer Tips, and I've already taken this out of this package. It comes with just this top and the lid, and if you see, there is a fine tip on the bottle, and there is also this, and this goes into that, so that when you stick this into here, it seals up your writer tip so it doesn't dry out inside of the tip, which is a fabulous idea. So it's just the bottle top and the cover that come in the package. I got this at Hobby Lobby for $4.99. It's also in my Amazon link below all my videos. DecoArt Ultra Fine Writer Tip. And I put another package of tips in my Amazon link that are not DecoArt, but they're another version that are similar, I believe. This came from Hobby Lobby. I'm not sure if Michael's has it. I can't say that I've seen it at Michael's. So that is what I'm using. And like this bottle here, my white, this was just little applicator bottles that I bought at Hobby Lobby or Michael's that were just little plastic bottles that came with some kind of a lid. And I just put this top on here and put my white paint in here and put a little water with it. But they're made to go on any 2-ounce bottles. So I put it onto my DecoArt. This is metallics. It's black pearl. So it's not a hard black. It's a softer looking black. And so I'm using it to do my little stamens on my flowers. That's what I'm doing. The painting is totally dry. The wonderful thing about when you're doing like blowing flowers or swiping is usually it dries so much quicker than your average dirty pour or acrylic pour. So, and I do not have a steady hand at all. The key is when you don't have a steady hand is to go faster, because the slower you go, the more shaky it's going to be. I have learned that for sure. I'm going to take these like right out off the canvas here. And maybe put the ends over. Usually anything you see that's up to the edges comes over the edges of my canvas when it's dried. So see, there's some drips on that side. A couple of leaves there. That flower went over. And that flower went over. So that's to show you what it looks like on the sides when mine dries. But I thought it'd be nice to go ahead and put stamens. I think they're called stamens. I should have looked it up before I said it, but I don't know. These are, and in my video when I was doing this earlier, you couldn't hear that I was saying these were supposed to be more like blooms here. The others were open flowers. These were supposed to be more like blooms where you don't see all 5 petals or whatever. I was going to do this last night, but my husband was watching TV, and that's right off the room that I paint in, and I didn't want the TV in the background with noises and stuff, so I waited until he left today to go to work to do my stamens. So that's that. I'm going to draw trying to decide if I want to do that, because I thought about highlighting around the petals and stuff, like in a very painterly kind of way. I kind of like that. And you're probably saying, no, no, no. But I'm doing it. And it's not exact. I want it very painterly. Yeah, this is, in a way, it's supposed to be like an abstract version anyway. So with abstracts, things are not realistic looking. So I'm just very quickly just kind of drawing in, like outlining my flower shapes, petals and stuff like that. And I'm sure I'll get some comments from somebody saying you shouldn't have done that. That's where, as an artist, you have a license to do what you kind of want. You know, it is your painting, and you got to do what you think looks good, you know, with the overall scheme of things. It just gives it a little bit more, to me, a little bit more definition, I guess you might would call it. Because you lose some lines with where the paint gets blurred in together and, you know, things like that. So this was a way of kind of re-outlining that shape in an abstract kind of way. But I just decided I was going to come back and add in at least the stamen part. And so now I'm doing the leaves and the vines. It takes quite a bit of pressure to squeeze this bottle, and it's also not watered down with water. So it's not as hard to squeeze the white one. Maybe it's because the bottle is not as hard a plastic, and or because the water is added to that, so it comes out a little easier. But this takes a little bit of pressure to squeeze this. I do say. I don't have to do say, but I do say. So I wasn't sure how I was going to like blowing these leaves and stuff, but it ended up doing okay, I think. They're not the most realistic looking leaves, or, you know, they're not the most leafy shapes that I would have liked for it to turn out to be, but overall I think it did pretty well. They resemble leaves, and that was the purpose, was for it to resemble something. It wasn't supposed to look like it perfectly. I've had, you know, a person or two make comments about, have you considered like painting what looks like a real whatever, because apparently they didn't think that whatever I painted looked like what I was talking about. And I can paint real looking stuff. I've been painting for 20 years. This is the whole point of this, is not to paint realistic stuff as much as it is to just be able to paint it more abstractly and to have some fun with it. So I'm not really trying to paint realistically when I do fluid paintings. That's the whole thing. You know, if I'm trying to do a sunflower, I can paint a real looking sunflower. I'm trying to do it in an abstract way where any person that watches my video who doesn't have any art experience can kind of come in and do something similar. They can make the effort to try something that they would probably never try otherwise, because they don't have art training and they don't know how to paint. So that's the beauty of acrylic pouring and swiping, is it gives the person the opportunity to try to paint something that they may otherwise never be able to paint realistically otherwise. That's the whole point of it. I hope that makes sense. And this is killing my hands. I am having to really, really squeeze hard. It must be because the paint is not watered down. but I didn't have any spare bottles that I could find around right now where I could add the black paint in and put some water in it. So I just decided to try it right out of the bottle, which it does work, so you do not have to add water. But it takes some pressure to squeeze, and it's killing the muscles in my hands. I'm having to really squeeze hard. So I think the black just kind of helps it pop a little bit more. And it gives it more of a little bit modern, you know, kind of feel to it. Whew. Also, the metallic paints are going to be a little thicker than straight out color. So that also may be a reason why it's taken a little bit of effort to get this paint to come out of these bottles. Or this bottle, not these. I'm gonna do the black and the leaf look too. I do have some arthritis in my hands, and I don't really ever feel it except for moments like this. I really like this painting. I hope you do. I have so much fun doing just regular dirty pours, like straight out acrylic pours. I really enjoy doing those. But I really, really love creating something where I end up being pretty happy with it. Something like this, where it has the feel of flowers and leaves, but I'm not trying to be realistic. And that's very freeing as an artist who has tried to paint realistically for 20 years. And I do a pretty good job at it. To not have to be pressured by trying to paint it realistically. That is the really cool part about it. So I think I have all the leaves drawn in with lines. And make sure I've got all of my vines kind of lines painted. And maybe I'll just do a few dots. And this in the middle, I had used the metallic gold when I was blowing out the flower petals, but I know my mic was out, and so what I used was bronze, copper, and black from squeeze bottles, and so they all kind of intermingled. Like, I don't even see the copper really, but I do see the bronze and the black for sure. Again, this is not supposed to be real looking. So don't tell me it didn't look real. Those don't belong there because it's not a real painting. As Bob Ross would say, it's my happy little world, and that's what I want in my happy little world. I think I've got all the areas. I'm not doing veins in the swiped leaves because they're kind of more cell-like, and I want to leave them as is. Oh, I'm trying to put the bottle. So what I'm going to do is take this top off, put the top back on the DecoArt bottle, and what I'll do is I'll go rinse this out. But see this tip? You just stick Okay, they gave me one where the needle is the same size as the other needle. Isn't that funny? They are the exact same size, and it will not go inside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rinse this out and take it back to Hobby Lobby and get my money back and get another one. Because this needle is supposed to be larger than this needle, and it looks like this needle is actually bigger than my other one in the white bottle. Let me look real quick. Yeah, this needle in this cap does not stick out of the cap. It's inside, and it is way smaller than this one. What I'll do is I'll take this top in with me when I go back to Hobby Lobby with this new top, and I'll say this is what it's supposed to do and this is not what it's supposed to do, and get my money or exchange it, and hopefully they'll have the right ones, because that's definitely not the right one. But anyway, it's a great concept, it does work, and I hope you did enjoy the video. My table is a big mess, but see, butcher paper, the paint peels right up like that. So you can pull up all your little paint drippings, or like if you have a big puddle that's dried for a while, you can pull up the whole puddle, which is so cool. And it's, oh, I could peel paint for quite a while. It's fun to do, actually, in my opinion. It's kind of relaxing. Just these little dots, they're so much fun. And they kind of look like confetti when you're done. But here is up close what it looks like, which I think looks pretty neat. So it's almost how people do almost like a watercolor effect, and then they do a black outline around it. There it is. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give me a thumbs up, please, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.